No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense.
They say many garbage things.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Melodrama upon melodrama!
This is a utter, shameful, disgraceful piece of nonsense.
He was miles off it yesterday.
You'll learn a lot more if you listen rather than talk all
Plenty
the
of
time.
time, no problem.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast. Premier League is back. It's been 84 years, Will. Remember that meme? Remember that?
Yeah, dude, classic.
Let's bring that back, shall we?
Yeah, just like when we brought back, what was it called? Starter packs.
Starter
we
packs.
Did that, remember?
Single-handedly we did that. We had Today FM doing everything. You know, they all just
New
followed
metal.
our lead. New Metal Month, of course. Well, that was one for Trent. That was completely new. Yeah, old thing. But we started a new revival. Honestly, you could pick anything from 20 years ago as a kind of a throwback / remake, reboot. Even just call it what it is. Just call it nostalgia, and people go, "Nice, I love that shit." You know. So you can do any of that. It doesn't really take that much effort or insight to do that. But we did do that with New Metal Month, and like all good trends, it's died as quickly as it's come back.
Yeah.
But something that will never die and always come back. Premier League football. The title race is mathematically still on, which is another way of saying not on at all, really.
Over, yeah.
The eye test would tell you it's not on. Liverpool won again. They beat Everton in the Merseyside derby. Not the last ever Merseyside derby in a ground this time, so not as important. But it does come off the back of Liverpool kind of get knocked out of multiple competitions in a short space of time.
Fading away, it felt like. That international break could not have come at a better time.
Yeah. Well, look, if you're a Liverpool fan, right, you've won the Champions League. Famously, you've won the European Cup 6 times. There's nothing left to prove there, really. You know, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, you know, booby prizes, let's be honest. You know, they're great, but it's like, you know, if you don't win anything else, at least we got this kind of thing. Premier League is the one people, and I've said this before, people are starting to say it again, they've won one title in 30 years, you know, which it's like, would you rather, you know, not score, just score one in a 7-0 or 7-1, what's worse, you know, the one consolation goal at the end or not even scoring at all. Either way, they're both bad. People are saying one title in 30 years, which is true. But if you can say 2 titles in 5 years, that's pretty good rate. Pretty good hit rate.
Yeah, and I mean, it all depends on, like, if it's just a blip and now City are back and they win the next 48 out of 50 titles, you can be like, there was that little stint, though, where we put it to them, you know? We were the only other team giving them anything.
Well, another way to put it, if you're Liverpool as well, if you win this one, which I think they will, we're the only other team to win it bar City since 2018.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's another one to say, you know. If it wasn't for us, City would have cakewalked the whole thing. You know, that's what they'll say.
I do fear for them a bit, though, because every now and then, over the last few weeks, you see a little, like, not a story, but you just see a little flash of, like, the Chargers are actually coming out soon. Like, that's nearly over. Find out what happens to Man City. If Man City do end up getting punished, and happens to be the year Liverpool win the title, will people be like, asterisk though? That was the year City got relegated, I think. Doesn't count.
I see people saying that the PG MOL title, but I think we can all agree the standard refereeing across the board is so bad for everyone that I don't think that asterisk is going to stand. And listen, City that, you know, they weren't close this year, even before any of the charges kind of came up. Well, I guess not. But that was the start of this year, wasn't it? Or was it the end of last year?
That was that coming into the season. That was the people knew about it.
But nevertheless, I don't think people are going to use that as a stick to beat them. My point being, okay, they're out of other competitions, but the one that they really want is the Premier League, and they're going to get that. So it's nothing that's going to matter, you know. And I said this before, trebles and doubles and quadruples, that's for when you're bored of winning the Premier League. This Liverpool side are certainly not bored of winning the Premier League. They get this one, they'll look on to the next one. Happy days. They won again there, against Everton. I know, do you see the Jota goal?
I did, yeah.
That is the goal.
Offside. if you ask David Moyes. According to David Moyes, he said, well, that was obviously offside. I thought, was it?
Damn, I missed that. Because you kind of
Yeah, me too.
Who was offside?
I might have been like, maybe not Nuno Diaz or someone that the ball was initially going to be played to, but it didn't make it to, was offside. So he wasn't interfering with play technically when you look at it, but it's like, well, if he wasn't interfering with play, why was the ball being kicked at him? Do you know what I mean?
David,
I think it was one of those.
David, we stop recording. The interview's over.
What do you mean?
See, if he was, if he was, but he wasn't going to, then yeah. All right, Dave, thanks. Dave. We got what we needed, Dave. Thanks. No, listen to me.
Packing up the tripod.
David, we're not recording. Please stop talking to me. Yeah, that was the kind of goal that Jota, I think, scores. And he's like, wow, he's a player. You know, like he gets the ball 1-2, dribbles by 2 players and 6 in the net. It's the easy chances, you know, the tap-ins that he'll miss. And it's like, this guy's not consistent enough. But I mean, this is the beauty of this Liverpool side. He was up this game. He nearly got sent off for fake applauding the referee for bad decisions. I mean, like, this is a guy who doesn't get to play very much, you know, doesn't score a lot of goals. And I'm sure some people were saying he's not very good, but he still wants to be there and wants to get important goals. I think that's the key to their title winning success. But there was a few chances for Everton. They had a couple of chances. Like I said, we've seen Liverpool go out with a couple of competitions. They're not invincible at the moment. They probably have too much of a lead to be reeled in. But I don't know if you saw the Beto chance. Two chances. I know we always talk about this, but you know, fuck it. Let's stay on brand. He was free, and then I think it was the core to play him in. And Gary Neville goes, he's in. Oh,
here we go.
Yeah, we could probably. It's on the highlights.
It's happening.
You can play the clip, and he's in. Oh,
One back Canate. Doucouré's onto it.
Beto, you know, somehow wins the ball off Van Dijk and then smacks off the post. But like, it's just, come on, man. You can't like hold it in. Sit off, Mike. You know, it's just It's incredible to see even now when like it's wrapped up. Even if they were to draw that game, Arsenal aren't going to get enough points. It doesn't matter, but just can't hide it. Just can't hide his. I can't wait for when they do win this and they inevitably put a microphone into Gary Neville's face. What will he say? Will he say it's been the worst Premier League season ever?
Yeah. Look, there's a big asterisk on this season. You know, Pep Guardiola got divorced.
Yeah, no, because it's just, you can see it bubbling in him. He's just hoping against hope that they'll mess it up from here somehow. But it's done. Just like the last one they won, they were so far ahead, and then COVID happened that there was no kind of reeling them in. But yeah, no, fair play to them. I think it's fair to say they're champions elect after that win.
Yeah, and like people were saying, you know, PGMOL title and stuff. To be fair, PGMOL must have been listening because Tarkowski tried to kill McAllister 10 minutes into the game. He came flying in and took him out and got a yellow card in a tackle that was so bad. Mike Dean said it should have been a red. He went against the VAR officials.
Yeah, that was a man and ball situation. Except the man was about a meter away from where the ball initially was. And you had to kind of like extend your body towards the man to get man and ball. You often see sometimes where you have a suspicion that, like, I think he knew what he was doing there, where he was like, I'm just going to clean the ball really hard and it's going to look like I just, you know,
go through the ball.
And Tarkowski has form in this regard. I think I saw him do one against Leeds a couple of years ago. I think it was against Harrison, his now teammates, and he was over the line. It's like, I'm just clearing the ball. It's like the ball was basically over the line. You didn't need to go in that hard, but you can hide behind that. I'm just going in hard. You know, it's a man's game. You know,
it's like the salute that the Musk and Redknapp defense. You know, like I was just moving my arm weird.
Yeah. Because he gets the ball and then he goes to the ground. It wasn't like he slid in and get the, you know, it was, yeah. And even, like I say on commentary, Gary Neville was like, I think he's very lucky. And I hate Liverpool, he said. Off camera, I'm pretty sure. But like, yeah, I think he knew what he was doing there. Not sure what that's about, to be honest.
I mean, too early in the game for a straight red.
Well, whatever the decision. I mean, like that's what I mean. PGM world title. They're horrendous across the board. So I don't think it's. I don't even think there's a conspiracy. I think they're just bad, or maybe it's too hard to ref. Whatever the case is, I just mean from Tarkowski's point of view, it's like they're not safe yet.
Yeah.
I saw a stat that's like they've gone unbeaten in 9 games. The last time they went 10 games unbeaten was Roberto Martinez in 2013. I was like, fucking hell, that's a lot of wins in a row for Everton. It was 5 draws. I was like, oh yeah, that's what it is. Like, they're not like cruising out of relegation. Like, they're inching towards it. And yeah, the 3 teams that are probably going to go down are pretty bad. Although Ipswich did get their win last night. I don't know if you saw that result. Broadhead scored for Ipswich. Will didn't score a header though, so not really. Nothing really funny about that. Yeah, and Ciso got the ball and he just kind of puts the goals. Like, it's actually a really good finish, really polished, kind of a silky finish. So wasn't what I hoped for when I saw the X update. I was like, oh, this could be funny.
Has it happened?
And he slots it home really confidently. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder, that's probably their first win since, like, let's say
Spurs, I think.
When was that? November?
I don't know. It feels like it could be only 4 weeks ago, but it feels like a long time.
I think they haven't got many wins at all. So I mean, you could guess any month they'd be like have a good chance of getting it right. But yeah, I just thought, like, you know, maybe that was for was it for Decore? Was it Decore the last time he was dragged around the place by Jones?
Oh yeah, it was right at the death of the last game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was that for him, you think, that tackle from Tarkovsky? That's for him.
It would be mad. Like, the sound of that sounds crazy, that like they'd have these things in their minds. But as we've seen from countless podcast clips over the last few years with ex-footballers, they do think about those things a lot. Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was kind of pointless and mad. And he didn't even put on the game. You know, I think he went on. He played fine. But yeah, they won that game, and they're still, they're 13 points clear now with 8 games to go.
13 or 12 points, yeah. It's
a lot of wins
over.
to lose. Yeah.
They do play Arsenal, I think, in like the third last game of the season. So there could be the devastating Guard of Honor could happen again.
Yeah, well, Garrett's fine. That's just a professional respect, I guess. You know, as long as that's your former striker isn't playing for the team, that is devastating.
I like the idea of Arsenal doing the Guard of Honor, clapping, looking at Liverpool, and they're like looking down the line. Like, I'm pretty sure none of them played for us. I'm pretty sure we don't recognize any of them. Thank God.
Yeah, you just see Van Persie walking out in a Liverpool kit. Like, what the fuck? This guy. When did he join the staff? Where are we gone? Okay, Liverpool play Fulham, West Ham, Leicester, Tottenham, Jesus Christ, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Palace. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see them losing any of those games, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
The Arsenal games at home as well. So, I mean, you don't do a Guard of Honor in someone else's ground, do you?
I don't know how that works. I don't think so. That seems kind of insulting. Like, to the team that's coming, like, now clap us out in our stadium.
Yeah, I think it's when it's in your home, because you're welcoming to your home ground. You go, hey, we're welcoming the champions. Whereas you don't go to the champions grounds and then clap them out, I don't think. So Arsenal may avoid that. Whatever happens, I think they might avoid the... Chelsea mightn't, though. I don't know if they care. I don't know if you saw the good news story for Chelsea this week.
No.
Chelsea announced profits of 128.4 million.
How did they manage that?
I'll tell you how, Will. Good question.
Yeah.
They've sold their women's teams. The women's team.
Okay. To who?
Themselves, Will.
Just like they did with their car park last year.
They said it works well at the car park. Let's sell the women's team to our parent company.
That is mad. And that can't be allowed.
Well, they've read the rules and they've done it by the book. I think they are going to be investigated by the Premier League. But I mean, they have a lot to play right now. It's a good time to pull a move like this. You know?
Yeah. No real investigation into that. Like, because who cares? You're 8th or 9th or whatever. You're in the Conference League. Cheat all you want, lads.
Yeah, they sold the women's team to parent company Blueco 22 Midco Limited last year, and is believed they're valued at upwards of £150 million. That may have been the difference, breaking the.
They must be the only club that made a profit.
There's probably been a few ones. None of them never spent as much money as Chelsea have, I'd say. The Times state they're likely to be in breach of UEFA's financial rules Europe's governing body does not allow clubs to register income from selling assets to sister companies. So Premier League, that shit flies. UEFA,
Yeah, do all you want.
UEFA, not so much. So yeah, maybe the old Conference League, being in the Conference League or being in Europa League, wherever they qualify for, that might bring them into the jurisdiction of UEFA. To be like, hang on, you can't be doing that. You can't be selling car parks to yourself. What's going on here?
What if, right? Now hear me out. What if the parent company literally, like, the parking profits are through the roof? Like, they're just the best people for the job.
Doesn't matter, Will. You can't be doing that. So yeah, what are they, about 8th? Is that what they are? That's not.
I think so. Off the top of my head, yes, but they could be literally anywhere from 12th to 5th.
They're 6th.
Okay, in between.
They're 6th. They have a game in hand on City, who are in 4th, and they are 2 points behind. They win the next game, and all the rest of them, they should get 4th.
Easy.
Oh, well, sorry, Newcastle are ahead of them, and they're on 50 points. They're a point ahead. So, yeah, 2 between them and Champions League. Well, one between them, I guess. Newcastle, 1 point behind Newcastle. So yeah, they're still in with a shout. But if they do get the Champions League, they might get banned from it.
Yeah, I think they're hedging their bets of no Champions League next year. We might win the Conference League, so that guarantees Europa League, or they'll get Europa League place.
Yeah.
Probably not the worst thing in the world to be banned from Europe for 1 year.
Yeah, well, all those players are tied into contracts, so they're not going anywhere. You know, they can't leave.
Exactly.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
Now, one team that might have something to say about that, Will, is Aston Villa.
Yeah.
If you told Aston Villa fans, Will,
Mhm.
if you looked at, you sat them down and you told them you'd be in the Champions League quarterfinals,
Yes.
you would have Marcus Rashford and Marco Asensio and Malen from Dortmund playing and banging in goals. You'd say, what's his name? The Saudi billionaire is taking over the club. This is a remarkable turn of events for Aston Villa. Is the key just spend money to make money? Is that what it is?
Yes, big time. I was reading, I can't remember where I saw this. It was an article, I think it was in The Guardian or something, about Aston Villa's spending. I think we talked about before where, like, a decade ago, their owner was like, the plan is Champions League by the year 2020, whatever. And I think they got it or they were very close to it. But the way they've gone about the plan is by spending right up to their limit.
Yeah.
And with the goal of, we need the Champions League from now on, or we're doomed. These players are gone. We've no more money. We're relegated. So it's a tightrope to walk, but it's working right now. You can't really argue with it right at this second.
This all Leeds did 25 years ago and said, we can do it. They failed, but we can
Leeds
do
were
it.
good. I remember them being good though before the failing.
But I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. That they were like
Yeah.
pushing for Champions League and they're buying really good players, Rio Ferdinand, Alan Smith,
Kuhl, Viduka.
and we didn't make Champions League. Sell the club.
Uh-oh.
Do you know that story of Robbie Fowler at Leeds, where he was like, he was there. He wasn't as good at Liverpool. He was obviously, probably pushing towards 30 or whatever. And the club decided to sell him or accept a bid for him. And he thought, this is because of my form. This is the end for Robbie, And then he said, no, you know what? I can improve. Maybe I've got complacent. I can come back from this, And he came into the Leeds car park ready to no, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to fight for my place. And he said, Robbie, we've no money. It's like, we actually think you're playing very well. And we like your attitude and training, It's nothing to do with you. We're all out of money. You have to go to Man City now, Robbie. So yeah, that's the only thing with Aston Villa, that they might see all these players leave and they might plummet through the divisions if they're not careful. Now Leeds are obviously on the way back, so it's not all doom and gloom. It only takes about 20 years to get back up, But
you'll get back there. And once you're in the yo-yoing, you do get some Premier League years in there. It's not so bad.
Yeah, for Aston Villa fans, they must be enjoying it now, Will. They've been up and down a bit,
That's the thing.
And before that, there was the kind of Milner, Ashley Young, Gareth Barry days, which were all right. Got them thereabouts, but eventually lost their players, went down, came back up, went down. This was at least they're in the Champions League. At least they're scoring bangers, So this is better.
It's definitely better. I did see.
Whatever happens.
So
Whatever happens next. Don't worry about it.
I see some football aggregator social medias, the likes of Benchwarmers and that, being like, just a few months ago, Marcus Rashford was, persona non grata at Man United, and now he's an FA Cup semi-finalist. He won in the last FA Cup. He was in the squad. I think he played in the final. He won it. So it's like, how far he's come.
Yeah, that is kind of dumb to be like, now he's FA Cup semi-finalist. He's won it twice.
Twice, I think. Literally, he won. He was on the pitch crying after the final of the last one because he was like, I can't believe I've won another FA Cup.
He thought, this is the last time I make it as far as the semi-final or further, he thought. Surely. Look at him now, Will.
There's so many, like Rashford. I think the highlights video literally on Sky Sports YouTube is like, Rashford resurgence continues. Like, he's actually probably the same amount of goals and assists as he was having at United before he stopped being played. It's like he's as good as he ever was. He was never bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a better team for sure.
Yeah, he's better. Yeah, I mean, you're giving the ball to Marco freaking Asensio. He's going to score those assists.
Yeah, no, he's definitely at a better team at the moment. So, I always take that when you compare players from different clubs or different leagues. It's like, it really is tough to compare because, someone who has like 10 assists, but they're playing with like, a top striker in the world is like, it's easier. It is easier because you can give them more balls. But yeah, no, I think the Marcus Rashford thing is a bit overhyped. What we really should be focusing in on is Anthony Elanga. Now that's a guy who thought my career's over. I've been bought by fucking Nottingham Forest, for Christ's sake. Where do I go from here? I'll tell you where, Anthony. Champions League, that's where.
The top, baby.
Right back to the top. You're joining a rule-breaking, money-spending super club in Nottingham Forest, and you're going all the way back to Champions League. I mean, what's going to happen to them? If they keep going like this, I mean, are they planning on the Champions League money windfall thing? Is that going to be like, once we get there, then all is forgiven? I
don't know. Yeah, I think they're a different kind of category to Villa. Because like I said, this is Villa's plan, and they know the risks, and they're willing to take them. Where I think Nottingham Forest is like, okay, this is our plan, but how can we also avoid the pitfalls by cheating?
Yeah, they've done very well. Yeah, it was last year, wasn't it? They got docked points. I don't know. I guess they've served their debt to society. We shouldn't keep judging them. They've been punished. They survived. They're back in the top 3. They got Anthony Elanga running the length of the pitch.
A new form of non-celebration from him as well, where he ran to the stands with a big smile on his face, but realized, I can't celebrate. So he did a non-celebration, no hands up or anything, but with the biggest smile you've ever seen on his face.
He ran over as if he was about to celebrate, and then
he remembered.
Morgan Gibbs-White came over, and he was like, "Oh," and then he's like, "Nah." He starts like waving him off, like, "Nah, I'm not going to celebrate this one. I'm going to celebrate this one." One of those, one of my favorite X posts of late, Will. Where it's one of those ones where it gets you, makes you do something. It's like, look at you. Reading this post with your dry ass lips. Nah, don't lick him now. Don't lick him now. I'm like, as you're licking him, you're like, don't lick him now. Like, damn it. Like he's just like kind of waving you off, like, kind of, yeah, get out of here. I'm not going to celebrate this goal. I just ran like the pitch. I'm not going to celebrate. Forget about it. Now, to be fair, I did see people when Anthony was at the club. There was like a comparison of them both doing a drill. Anthony doing the drill versus Elanga doing the drill. It's like, why do we let go of that guy? Why do we keep him and let go of him? Now look at them both. I mean, I don't know if you saw this clip doing the rounds. It's like cartoonish now how well it's going for Anthony in Spain compared to how it was at Man United. The last clip I saw of him was him on the pitch, a stadium full of people singing his name after game, no top off, and he's waving a big Real Betis flag. Yeah, some kind of derby over there that they were successful in, and Anthony spearheaded the whole effort, of course.
Isco, his teammate, post-match press conference, he was saying, we've got to crowdfund a way to keep him here. Yeah.
I don't know if that was kind of like, we're never going to be able to afford this guy, so unless you can crowdfund this shit, not really think it's going to happen. But I mean, yeah. I get it. This is all good stuff from United, Will. Loan players going well.
these are Rashford and Anthony are on loan. This is great.
Worst case scenario, they sell them for more money than they would have a year ago. So yeah, it's I suppose it's good in that sense, but in another sense, they were actually playing against Nottingham Forest and they lost that game. We were talking about this before. A move we've seen before. Big Harry Maguire not starting centre back because reasons of footballing reasons we call them. Stick him on the front, disrupt. Get amongst them. I saw a few people, maybe they're new fans. Hard to think that Man United will get new fans, but maybe they are new fans. Said this is a new low for Man United.
Yeah.
I would say
Wrong.
a familiar low. Must be the third time we've seen this happen that I can remember off the top of my head.
Yeah. Ten Hag used to do this the whole time. He would desperately, it was one of probably the biggest criticisms against him, was like, this guy has not got a clue what he's doing wrong, because the last 10 minutes of a game, he'd take off all the defenders or move them up top. And he'd be like, I don't know, just lump it to Maguire maybe. So to see Amorim doing it as well, like, yeah, it works. Harry Maguire's good at hitting the ball with his head, and he's tall. It makes all the sense in the world. But yeah, all the new, I don't think they're new
Yeah,
fans.
I don't know who they are.
I think they're goldfish memory fans who are just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. How far we've fallen. Nope. It's been this way this is now the norm. This is how it works.
Yeah, we do it pretty effectively, or we did do it pretty effectively with Duffy up front. Remember that?
Yeah, it works. It's as old as time.
I remember, I think it was Jurgen Klopp famously put Stephen Corker up front for that game. Do you remember that? They got him on loan for like 6 months. They played one game and they put him up front just to kind of get amongst them. Now, in all these situations, there's a striker on the bench who's not getting the players thinking, oh, well, my career's finished.
Yeah.
In this case, I guess that person's Holland.
Yeah, that is the real issue, because this is the new low. It's not Maguire being up there. It's that Maguire's up there, and not just with the eye test, but the stats to back it up, did a much better job than Højlund. He had more chances. He created more XG in one game than Højlund has since January, which is insane. Because Maguire was only up there for like 10 minutes. 10 minutes, I think he was up there. And it's like, how did he do that though? Did he have 40 shots on target?
Now, if I was Holland's agent, right, or someone in Holland's camp, I'd be saying, well, listen, if you fucking start lobbing up balls to Holland, he can start doing that as well. He could start just disrupting and like throwing legs at stuff. I mean, the chance he had at the end, which was cleared kind of ish off the line, Holland could do that. He could just get up there. He's a big lad. He could push his way around and just throw legs at stuff. They don't play that way, But even still, surely some other opportunities to create XG were about since January that you could have boosted those numbers.
I'll tell you now, January feels like 40 years ago. That is an insane stat.
I mean, he was another famous actor in that Adidas ad. Him, Manu, and Garnacho. They could all be gone this summer, Will. Maybe they all should be gone.
Yeah. I mean, I do think patience is wearing thin with United fans with Garnacho. I think he was awful in that last game. And I saw a lot of people tweeting like, this guy didn't play on the international break. He's had like 3 weeks off and he's worse than ever.
Yeah, he did that thing where he kept cutting inside, taking shots on his right.
You can't. You're not able to do it. Stop doing it.
Yeah, some were like not even close. Everyone knew what he was going to do, and he just ballooned it. Some were blocked, some were saved, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't working for him. But yeah, Nottingham Forest cement third spot. That's safe to say. They are 57 points, 8 games to go. City behind them, 6 points behind. I guess it could happen. I guess they could get passed out all the way from Aston Villa up. Maybe not Aston Villa up front, but I mean mathematically.
Yeah. It does feel like one of those things though. Some clubs you see it happen and you think, that'd be great for them to be in the Champions League. Of course it'd be great for all of them, but you do think like they'll do okay there and still this is a new era for the club.
Yeah.
Other clubs you see it and you go, oh, that's going to kill them. They're going to plummet down the table next year after a few injuries and now they have to travel all over Europe. It feels like this is one of those teams because like
I think so.
Chris Wood is injured now. Aina at the back, who all fancy football managers probably had this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's injured now as well. So I do think like once you start dropping off a few players, you're playing an entirely new set of fixtures, a new tournament, because obviously they don't play in Europe.
Yeah.
I just think this is a 1 year thing, like we've seen before
Ooh.
with, I don't know, Burnley, Brighton. Do you know what I mean? I don't think this is a new norm for Nottingham Forest. Whereas I do think Villa will probably be up and amongst it for the next few years. They seem pretty solid.
Yeah, I would disagree, to be honest, because it's not a team that's done this the right way or anything. This isn't like,
That's true.
they're going to spend a lot of money this summer, I would say, if they get Champions League. And they pay these players probably decent wages to be at Nottingham Forest. That's how they get them in the first place. So you have to be offered a lot of money by a PSG. I mean, who are the best players in that team that could potentially, go somewhere else?
Yeah, like we've seen Chris Wood and other teams not be as effective. So you do wonder, are other clubs being like, we got to get this Wood guy in? Or they're like, no, I'm not falling for that again.
No, there is ageism for sure. If someone's like 21 and decent, like, wow, think how good he could be in how many years? Whereas like someone who's 33 who's good now, it's like, well, you might get him for 1-2 years. Is that worth 70 million? He could be like Lewandowski going to his late 30s, but like, that's rare. So, I mean, I don't think Emma's going for Chris Wood. Hudson-Odoi and Elanga have been very good, but they are kind of not tainted, but like people think, well, they were already at big clubs and didn't really work out. So it's not like a sure thing. It's not like, there's no end to where these guys can go. I mean, Murillo is good at the back. Ryan Yates is their goodwill story because like he's played in every division of, like, he's not like, has he made an England team yet? I just don't think there's a lot of great stars, but I think they're at like a really good base here to buy even better players from here. I think that's probably what they'll do.
Yeah, I do wonder as well. Now, I'm sure this is easily look upable, but I do wonder, have they been part of the punishment, part of the point deductions? Was it like, and also, just so you know, we're keeping a real close eye on your books over the next few years. So don't do anything crazy. So I do wonder that come into it as well. Like, even though they'll have all this Champions League money, but they'll be like, but we can't spend it. Because, the cheating.
Maybe, yeah. I think they'll be fine. I think they have the money to spend. They're willing to spend it, which is the key. Same as Aston Villa, that it's got to spend money to get that Champions League spot. But yeah, look, we'll see if either of them get it. It could be City. City won again. Marmouche, Grealish scored again. Grealish is the type of player now who could go down Forest.
Yeah, I could see that.
That could be like, this is who we need for Champions League. We need a star.
Don't fall for it. We need personalities in the team for marketing purposes. No, it'll kill your team. We were wrong about City.
We were so wrong about that, weren't we? I saw actually Haaland now is out for the rest of the season, more than likely.
Yes, yeah. He's out for a while. The injuries are starting to stack up. It's funny, even after the 2-week international break. Now, I'm sure these players were playing international games, but it is funny that first game back from the break, injuries all over the league. It's just like, the break was actually bad. You got to keep going on the wheel.
International break is for us, the fans, because no one watches internationals. They're working harder than ever.
They're traveling more.
Traveling, it's more emotional for them as well. More, bigger stadiums, bigger fans. I don't know. I think who's left in the Champions League? Just Arsenal, is it? Arsenal Villa.
Arsenal and Villa, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, with no Haaland for City, I think that could be a huge issue for them getting fourth or fifth place. Now I'm going to revise my comments. I think Man City do well to hold on to fourth place. Will, how about that? I don't think they're going to catch anybody.
I can see that. They won at the weekend, like I said, but who was it? Was it Leicester they were against? Or
yeah,
it was one. Yeah, it was Leicester, wasn't it? So it's like everyone's fucking beating Ruud van Nistelrooy's Leicester. I know I wouldn't count on that for much. So yeah, I do think they're in a bit of bother because like Haaland, even though he's not fucking breaking records like he was, he still scores a goal like every 2 games.
Well, it's more so I think even the alternative, which is who?
Yeah, Marmouche, I guess.
Marmouche.
I don't know.
Yeah, I did see price rise alert, Marmouche going up. I was like, he's not going to fucking... he's not going to score. He's not about to score 8 goals in 8 games, lads. I think they're just going to not score any more goals,
Chasing last week's points. That's a classic.
Yeah, don't fall for that trap, folks. What else do we have then?
Newcastle?
Yeah, Newcastle, who I mentioned, they're in 5th. They're is it if Arsenal or Aston Villa win a game or we get to the next round, the Premier League gets the 5th spot?
Something like that. Yeah, I think that's all they need for the coefficient. It'd be
Okay.
impossible for another country to pass England out then.
Okay, so not guaranteed yet. So Newcastle are fifth, Europa League, maybe, possibly even Champions League. We'll see. But one thing for sure, Will, they have one of the booby prizes in the bag, the Carabao Cup. We get a lot of things right in this show. You know, we say
more than ever.
We just kind of call off the dome as we see it. The ultimate eye test, you know, just saying things. But we thought for sure this whole Newcastle project needs a trinket. It needs something to show. Look, we did it. We broke the curse, you know. And the Carabao Cup, is there a better trophy in football to do that? Maybe the Europa Conference League, but I think a close second is the League Cup in your given league. Cue amazing scenes on Tyneside.
Pandemonium. Here's one for you now, Kyle. Is whatever Carabao pay for the Carabao Cup actually some of like the best bang for your buck advertising you could get? There was literally, it looked like millions of people in Newcastle on the streets singing and cheering and crying and all saying the word Carabao, Carabao, Carabao.
Honestly, yes, because the FA Cup, you don't need to shout about it, but you do need to shout about the Carabao Cup.
You got to make a scene.
And no one calls it the League Cup. They call it the Carabao Cup. So, I mean...
Carabao Cup has a nice ring to it. It's a mad sponsor, but it does sound good.
I don't know if he's thought this through, that like whoever owns Carabao was like, listen, in a couple of years, all the powers are going to be so concentrated at the top in terms of league wins that the Carabao will be the only feasible one that other clubs can win. So when they do win it, it's going to be a huge deal. So it doesn't seem like a lot now, but give it 5 or 6 years and the Carabao is going to be in everyone's mouth, you know? But that seems to be what's happened, you know?
Yeah.
Do you remember, was it City won like 3 in a row, Carabao Cups?
And
then
it was lower than ever.
They lost one, and then Pep said, "Oh, I came here first." And who was his assistant? Was it Rice, his assistant, the former Arsenal guy? So I asked him, "What's the story of this Carabao Cup?" He said, "No one cares about that." So congratulations again, Liverpool, or something like that. But it's true.
The head of Carabao being like, no, shit.
No, he was sitting back smugly as the board were going, no. He was like, this is phase one.
Excellent.
We're now entering phase 2. We've just finished phase 1 of City winning it and lowering it. Now it's going to phase 2 where everyone wants to win it. It's going to be a huge deal. I mean, Sarah, Man United win it, you know? The Carabao was more prominent than ever then when Man United won it because, look, they had won a trophy. Now you see with Newcastle, a big parade, open top bus parade down Tyneside, Anton Deck, all over the place.
Yeah. Very early in the season for full parade. Maybe Man United did that as well, but I remember Liverpool they wrapped up the Carabao and FA Cup parade together at the end of the season.
Well, that's because they're in both.
Well, yeah. But when I saw Newcastle doing this huge parade and all the fans out, all I could think was like, you have a game in 2 days.
Which they won.
And like, were they all just totally stone cold sober on the parade? That sounds awful.
Well, I mean, you could call it sober, but they drank copious amounts of Carabao.
Yeah, Carabao runs through their veins.
Yeah, that's why they won. That's why Sandro Tonali got that late winner. Bang! Extra energy from Sandro Tonali.
Tonali with one of the first ever. We've seen a cross-cum shot before.
Yes.
This was the cross-cum screamer. He fucking rifled it in.
Definitely cross, though. I could think we could say that for sure.
Otherwise, he's insane.
He was up all night, wire on Carabao, watching Papi Cisse highlights, so I could do that. No, I think it is strange. Like, if they were like 9th or 10th, like, this is it, lads. Like, just fucking call the season now, you know. But because they're like still in amongst like Champions League, which for PSR and all that stuff is still very important for them to get that, to have the trophy again backs up my theory that like all they really care about is winning something. And, you know, they're not just going to let this Carabao Cup slide. We'll do it later. It's like, do it now. Get a massive parade going. Get every Geordie influencer talking about Riyadh.
Well, that's the question, Carl. I mean, we all had our great fun at the parade.
We did. We were there. We were sponsored. We were there.
It was us. It was Anton Deck. We were up there drinking Carabao. But like every good party, my first thought was like, oh, this is going to end soon. I don't want to go back to real life. Where do we go
Yeah.
next? Where's the after party?
Where's the party going from here, Will?
Yeah. Where's the party going from fucking Newcastle?
Surely visas are an issue. Sorry, I messed up my line. You go.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's give it to people who are more in tune with Newcastle than us. Let them tell you where the party's on.
70-year wait is finally over. Newcastle have a trophy.
Imagine the parade, 250,000 Geordies in the city centre,
Whoa.
limbs everywhere.
But where's the after party?
Big market?
No, Saudi Arabia.
What?
Just imagine Boulevard World in Riyadh, full of black and white, and it's actually easy to get there.
What about the visas, the flights, the hassle?
Online or on arrival. Plus, visitsaudi.com are doing a package deal where you can just get it all together.
So let me get this straight. Toon win a trophy, and suddenly we're going all Sean Longstaff and going travelling.
Sun, celebrations, and probably Joe Linton on a camel.
I've got to see that.
This is the biggest weekend of my life. Over 150,000 Newcastle United fans will be on the fields at Town Moor as Newcastle United will celebrate the Carabao Cup, which we won against Liverpool. 1955 was our last domestic major honour. We are talking 70 years in the making. We have waited so long, but now we will enjoy every second of it. Now, of course, since our takeover in 2021, the Public Investment Fund over in Saudi Arabia has invested heavily in our football club, and we are seeing a huge transformation on and off the pitch. But it doesn't stop there. For those of you watching who want to continue on the after party, get yourselves over to Saudi Arabia. Enjoy the culture, learn a lot more about the country, and of course, get yourselves over to the Boulevard World in Riyadh. I've had the chance myself to be there in 2022, and for yous, it's a chance as well to learn a lot more about the background of Newcastle United, and of course, it is easy to get to. There are plenty of direct flight options in the UK. Visas are available online, and you can also get them on arrival to Saudi Arabia if you are from the United Kingdom. As for travel packages, I will have the link to visit Saudi in my bio. These deals will expire on the 30th of March, so make sure you are quick over the next couple of days. Go on, have a look for yourselves, see if there is something you would like to do in Saudi Arabia.
There you have it, folks. That's where the party is, Riyadh. It's so easy. It's simpler than ever to get from Newcastle airport. They probably an airport, do they?
I assume. I don't know.
They do now.
Yeah. This does speak to something we've talked about before, though, of much like the Carabao marketing was entered into phase 2, we are about to enter into phase 2 of Newcastle. Of once they got this first little trophy over the line, you know, not too many think pieces. There was a few. I think now it's time to ramp it up. Okay, we've got the trophy, we've got the League Cup. People kind of accept that we're good now. Time to spend the money.
Yeah, well, it's obvious what they want is, like, you know, you hear people going to Dubai all the time. You know, it's to use an overused phrase, it's normalized kind of going to Dubai on a holiday. Riyadh, though, is like, oh, isn't that like dangerous?
Yeah. What if I'm a woman?
Oh, I don't know about that. Riyadh. You know, you want to get that out of people's heads. You know, you want Riyadh to be synonymous with the same things that Dubai is, like wealth and safety, and it's totally fun and cool and
sparklers and gold bottles.
There's places you can go to drink. There's, you know, you can't drink on the street, but there's places you can go. There's places you can go. Don't worry about that. That's fine. No. It's fine. Even for women, it's fine. Yeah. No, you can't drive. But yeah, that's what they want. So this thing of like, get your ass to Riyadh. It's like, no one's ever said that, you know. But
imagine the cost of flying to Saudi Arabia on a whim because your club won a League Cup trophy. And they do mention, I'm sure, in one of those clips, because it's the line that has stuck out to a lot of people, come to Saudi Arabia to learn about the history of the club. What? What do you mean?
Where else better than Riyadh, the owners of the club, to learn the history? No, well, like, this is, you know, Newcastle don't care. Newcastle fans don't care that they're winning trophies. But yeah, that is, I think, the ultimate goal. It's not sports washing. I don't know. I guess it's a way of advertising Saudi Arabia. I mean, if you didn't have Newcastle, I mean, how did the Dubai become Dubai? How did we all find out about Dubai?
Irish teachers not having to pay tax mostly. Yeah.
The tax thing was probably the biggest thing, wasn't it? I don't know, but that is what they want. So if they're going to, be it the Carabao Cup or if they win the Champions League, it's going to be the same stuff. It's like probably on the steps, or if there's a speech or in the interview afterwards, like, yeah, I can't wait to bring this trophy back to Riyadh and really celebrate with the fans. That's what they're going to want people to be saying. And it's all just like, hey, Riyadh's a cool spot, just like Dubai or other places. What's the other place? My mind escapes me.
Qatar was big for a while there.
Is Dubai in Abu Dhabi?
I think so.
Or is Abu Dhabi a different place?
We're
no,
dangerous.
United Arab Emirates
territory
is the country.
Here, yeah.
The UAE is the country, and that's where Dubai is. Abu Dhabi, I feel, is like more businessman stuff. Not as fun.
More serious. Yeah.
More serious, but also safe, but not for a good time. I'm not sure what Riyadh's going for, but it's going for something like that. But look, they won the Carabao Cup. They won the league. They're on course for Champions League. It's all going Newcastle's way at the moment. And fair play to Anton Deck as well. Congratulations to them.
Yeah. Saudi Arabian shills, Anton Deck.
I think they've been shills for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think you can accuse them now of abandoning their morals. They're just working men.
That is funny. Even like those Newcastle YouTubers and TikTokers to be advertised in Saudi Arabia. It is funny that the comments are like, no, not Togden, not the true Geordie. Like, what? These lads are they just make YouTube videos. They're like, who cares?
That is the goal, is to sell out. Why the hell else think people are becoming influencers?
Yeah. They're not doing it with I just love promoting products.
Yeah, well, because you see when people get they start to do something that you don't like or whatever, they start to endorse someone, and then you read the comments and you're like, devastated to find this out. I'm like, wow, whoa, devastated. This has devastated you to find out that one of your favorite influencers likes money. They're not artists; they're influencers. They're doing a podcast. They're doing a fucking TikToks. It's like they're looking for sponsors. That's all it's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the first thought was, I should do a podcast. That'd be fun. The immediate second thought is, it'd be class to make money.
Yeah, like if you're a stand-up comedian doing it, do you know what I mean? And you're promoting your own shows, then it's like, yeah, all right, he doesn't need to sell out. But if you're just like an influencer with a podcast who does TikToks, and then they endorse something that you might like, so well, what do you think their end game was? You know what I mean? They're not promoting anything else other than themselves. So to keep that show on the road, you got to pay for that. Yeah, and that's fine. But like people say they're devastated by it. I'm like, what did you think was going on, you moron?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I thought I just loved Newcastle. I was doing it for the love of Newcastle. No.
Like Anton Decker are TV personalities. They're presenters.
Yeah.
They need something to present. They're not making music anymore. That was a long time ago.
What about the music, Anton Deck?
I used to like Anton Deck before, they sold out. I liked the music side of Anton Deck. They used to be about the music.
That's a funny character.
I like the old stuff. It's basically just like the old stuff. The music.
Let's get ready to rumble. And this was when it was about the music, man.
Was Anton Deck that I loved before they were called Anton Deck. When they're just Anthony and Declan, I guess.
I think they had different fake names.
Oh. I think they're related, Anton Deck.
I've always, no, in the past I assumed they were, but then over time I thought it was like, maybe they're not. Maybe it's kind of like I don't know, Undertaker and Kane are brothers type of thing, but they're not really. But you hear it so much.
They were fake characters. In many ways, Anton Deck are fake characters, as we've discussed. But I think I saw them on Who Do You Think You Are? And the big spoiler alert for everyone who's catching up on Who Do You Think You Are?
Put my fingers in my ears.
Yeah. Anton Deck, I think, are related in somehow. I don't think they're brothers, but like they're related, like loosely, like second cousins, once removed kind of thing. But I mean, England's a small place. Maybe they're Irish. I don't know. But yeah, I think that they're family.
They're family. Yeah, we should do a no nonsense. Do you think they take us on? Who do you think you are?
Is that show even still going?
I don't know. It's probably a YouTube video now.
I feel like they've done all the celebrities who were willing to do it at this point. You know?
Yeah, there's some who are like, no, don't go delving.
Well, all those shows that you have to be, they do the background check first, and if there's something good, they go, yeah, we'll do it. Which you shouldn't go, well, now I don't want to do it. Because,
yeah.
Yeah, you're.
The hell did you find?
Your great granddad was Jack the Ripper. I knew it.
Fuck.
My granny used to tell stories, but we didn't really know what she's talking about. But yeah, Jack the Ripper, that was us. Was this great? So yeah, I don't know. Was it always celebrities or is it normal people as well? I guess you could take, if the story was good enough, Will, they do the background check on us and said, yeah, you're actually both sisters. Like, what?
What a twist. Yeah.
That would be a twist. That would make TV, but it would have to be something like, illogical like that even to make sense to put on TV. But yeah, maybe we should. You could do like what, the 23andMe?
Yeah, you spit into an envelope and send it off.
Maybe a side pod. Maybe for the summer, we'll do a Who Do You Think You Are? No nonsense.
I actually have some, no, they're not extensive, but I have some slight notes here for the pod just to keep my brain on track. And one of them was 12-point gap in league. Hot outside, feels like summer pod.
Yeah, it does feel like summer pod, Will. It is quite hot outside. Long may continue. But actually, that is the end of the show.
Yeah. Wrong, not continuing.
Well, the weather, long may continue. The show, I'm not sure. But for this episode, it's over. Enjoy the beautiful weather. Have a great weekend.
We'll see you in Riyadh.
See you in Riyadh.